Nike is a company that has been recently complimented for implementing sustainable practices. But how do you implement sustainability into an unsustainable foundation? Are Nike's attempts at being sustainable just the lesser of two evils? Sustainability, as we have discussed in class, has become a word that has lost some of its meaning. It is being used by the corporate world as a PR boost. As defined by Jensen, for an action to be sustainable, you must be able to perform it indefinitely. This means that the action must either help or at the very least not materially harm the land base. Jensen asked this question: how does a company with annual revenues in the billions and more than 700 contract factories worldwide profitably integrate ecology and social equity into the way it does business every day at every level of operation? Nike is a main member of the textile industry, an industry that directly negatively impacts the environment. The textile industry negatively affects the environment by increasing the water deficit, climate change, pollution, and fossil fuel and raw material consumption. They contribute to the throw it away and buy a new one attitude that we have discussed in class. Trends change, shoes wear out, and consumers buy it new. Textile mills emit atmospheric emissions. The processes that take place inside the factories, such as energy production, bleaching, sizing, and dyeing, can produce harmful emissions such as particulate nitrous oxides, sulfur dioxide, chlorine, formaldehyde, and volatile organic components. And since the textile industry involves the production of natural fibers, this negatively affects the environment as well. Cotton is the number 2 in the running for the most damaging agricultural crop worldwide. Pesticide use contributes to this ranking because 25% of the global use of pesticides is put on cotton crops. Cotton is irrigated, and the combination of the chemical application through pesticides and fertilizers with irrigation is a direct conduit for toxic chemicals to circulate in groundwater worldwide. The textile industry is also one of the world's worst polluters because it uses a large amount of chemicals in water. This then becomes wastewater. Wastewater hurts the environment with its high heat, high pH levels, and the dyes, bleaches, and other harmful chemicals that it contains. The textile industry is also infamous for unfair treatment of employees, one of the most infamous companies being Nike. According to Jensen, there is a near slave labor of brown people, mainly young brown women, in factories where they're forced to work 65 hours per week at starvation wages to make luxury athletic shoes in factories where chemicals causing liver, kidney, and brain damage can be 177 times the legal limit. While overseas there are women slaving away in the factories, Nike is empowering women in the States by creating a brand that caters to all of their athletic needs. We all remember when soccer player Brandi Chastain ripped her shirt off after she scored the winning goal in the Olympic Games. This move invited femininity into sports. What clothing company was she dripping in? Nike. While Nike is empowering women stateside, they are exploiting women of less fortune. Nike has taken the time to realize their actions in the past and are making moves towards a more sustainable, if you will, company. How does a company whose co-founder is worth over $9.8 billion achieve a sustainable corporation? Is the lesser of the two evils good enough? Nike has integrated the life cycle approach into their manufacturing process. They do this by using their Considered Index. The Considered Index is a tool for evaluating the predicted environmental footprint of a product prior to commercialization. What does the system include? It examines solvent use, waste, materials, and innovation for footwear. Using the index framework that is based on Nike's known footprint, products are given a considered score. The only way a product can be designated as considered is if it scores much higher than the corporate average of that product. How is that index made? It is based on over a decade of collecting solid waste and solvent use data in footwear and the examination of waste footprints in apparel and footwear products in all categories of sport. It is also based on the evaluation of every material used to manufacture Nike products using the previous mentioned life cycle approach. Nike's life cycle approach comes together like this. Nike designs the product. It is designed out of sustainable materials and is then manufactured with less glue and less pollution. It is then purchased by the consumer with less packaging. After the consumer is finished with the product, they then recycle it with the Nike Grind and Reuse a Shoe program, which then goes back into the life cycle of the sporting goods world. According to Nike, they are closing the loop in the sporting goods industry. The Reuse a Shoe program is a way they are attempting to close the loop. Nike sets up drop boxes in which you can recycle your worn-out athletic shoes in any brand, not just Nike. While doing this, Nike additionally advocates for the recycle of other hard-to-recycle items. Where do the shoes go? They go back into the life cycle of the sporting goods world. The product that comes out of the Reuse a Shoe program is called Nike Grind. Nike Grind material contributes to the sporting good world in 7 ways. First, it goes back into the making of more athletic shoes. Second, outdoor basketball and tennis courts use Nike Grind foam as cushion below the playing surface. This provides support and springiness to the courts. Indoor synthetic basketball and volleyball courts and indoor wooden basketball and volleyball courts use grind foam and fiber to create a cushioning below these surfaces as well. Running tracks use the Nike Grind rubber by mixing it with new rubber to create synthetic indoor and outdoor running tracks. Synthetic soccer and football fields use Nike Grind rubber granules as infill for the soil of the field. Playgrounds can use Nike Grind rubber for cushy, impact-absorbing surface. And lastly, gym flooring can use the Nike Grind rubber for interlocking flooring tiles in a home gym and high-performance shock-absorbing flooring for professional gyms. Nike's Trash Talk shoe is another example of its attempt at sustainability. It is a shoe that Nike came out with on Earth Day 2008 that is made out of recycled parts. The upper piece is pieced together with leather and synthetic leather waste from the factory floor using zigzag stitching. The midsole uses scrap ground foam from factory production. The outsoles use environmentally preferred rubber that reduces toxics and incorporates Nike Grind material from footwear outsole manufacturing waste. The colorways will have shoelaces and sock liners that use environmentally preferred materials and will be packaged in a fully recycled cardboard shoebox. Environmentally preferred, what does that mean? Environmentally preferred materials is what Nike is calling the changes that they have made and are making to the manufacturing of their products. Their motto is less toxics, less waste, more environmentally friendly material. First, they are using recycled polyester. They use fiber that comes from reprocessed post-industrial and or post-consumer polyester waste, such as plastic bottles, consumer textile products, uniforms, and textile scraps. For leather, Nike has collaborated with other footwear brands to create the Leather Working Group. The LWG developed a set of rules to assess the environmental compliance and stewardship practices of leather tanneries and to advocate best practices in the industries. By evaluating tanneries with this set of rules, it will be easier to find the tanneries that will fall into the standards for environmentally preferred leather suppliers. As of fiscal year 2006, 53% of all Nike products contain at least 5% organic cotton. Nike has vowed that it will use 5% organic cotton in all products by fiscal year 2011, and they claim to be on track to reaching this goal. Additionally, in 1990, Nike pledged that it would stop the use of PVCs in all their products. As of recently, almost all of Nike's products are PVC-free. Almost all. Nike also wanted to reduce packaging waste, and this is where the fully recyclable shoebox comes in. The shoebox accounts for Nike's single largest material purchase and accounts for half of Nike packaging. Nike developed a shoebox that is anticipated to use 30% less material than a 1995 vintage box. It will be the first 100% recycled content box, and they will start using the shoeboxes in fiscal year 2011. The annual savings will be nearly 12,000 metric tons of cardboard, or the equivalent of 200,000 trees annually. While Nike attempts to make moves towards a greener lifestyle in its manufacturing, it also looks to do that in the office. Nike's new European headquarters in the Netherlands was built by William McDonough, a man Time magazine called a hero for the planet. According to McDonough, by modeling industrial systems on nature's nutrient flows, designers can create highly productive facilities that have positive effects on their surroundings. To quote McDonough, the campus creates an active habitat that promotes physical, social, and cultural health in the broadest possible senses. Indoor environments contain virtually no PVC, sustainably harvested wood, and abundant daylight and fresh air. One of Europe's largest geothermal installation provides safe space conditioning, contributing to Nike's European headquarters place as the most energy-efficient office of its size in the Netherlands. The design encourages strong local connections by evoking the regional landscape of water and native plants. If Nike is successfully able to implement its plans, we could be looking at a company that transforms our throw-it-away lifestyle. An attempted transformation of a main member of the textile industry could inspire other companies to act as well. But are they just implementing sustainable practices on an unsustainable foundation? And is it working?